Howdy, everybody. It has been quite some time since I've been on here, and we're gonna jump into some Dave the Diver here. As you can see, it's also been quite a while since I've even played this game. Over a week. But cheers to everybody. Hope wherever you are, you're doing well. I have myself a nice little mix here of Dr. Pepper, Maker's Mark, and Wild Turkey American Honey. Lovely little concoction. If you are of age, I highly recommend it. I make mine quite strong. I have a pretty high tolerance level overall. Usually my ratio is 1 12-ounce can of Dr. Pepper. In this cup, about 6 ice cubes fit in it from my freezer. But to go with 12 ounces, a 12-ounce can of Dr. Pepper, I usually go with about a shot and a half of the Wild Turkey American Honey and about 3 to 4 shots of the Maker's Mark, or bourbon or Tennessee whiskey of your choice. I prefer my drinks very strong. Let's go check out the farm and the fish farm, because I don't know where I left off since my most recent jaunt over there. Alright. Good there. We're doing all cucumbers, it looks like, from here on out. And the chicken feed is 2 out of 3, so I don't think we're in a rush to do anything there. I believe my man is hired through pretty much into March at this point, if I'm not mistaken here. Oh, into May. Yeah, so he's locked down for a while. And then just going with cucumbers at the moment, and still have plenty of those. So I don't think I have anything to worry about there. So let's hop over to the fish farm. Looks like we got a good amount of management to do here, so let's take a look. Right at 100%. All the shrimp. Let's get all these 2 stars out of the way. Go with, knock those down to 5 for spacing. Bluefin tuna, let's knock that down to 3. Ooh, marlin. I kind of want to keep my marlin high, so I'll just do 1. We'll keep that at 4. And where are we at with the lobsters? 10 and 12. We'll knock that down to 10. That gives me 88%. I think that's kind of a comfortable margin to work with. 113% here. Let's do some cleaning here. Take that down to 25. Take those down to 10 of the 3-star. Pelican eel. Take those down to 15 of the 3-star. Barrel eye. Go down to 25. Vampire squid will go down to 15, and Dumbo octopus, you think 20 would probably be a pretty good measure, I would assume. So we'll go down to 20. That gets us to 79%. I think that's a very, very comfortable margin there for that one. And then the nocturnal one, Let's see here. Blue lobsters. We'll keep the 12, but we'll get rid of the 4. The eels, we'll knock that down to 15. Box jellyfish, 10. White shrimp. Keep those at 50, just a flat 50. Red banded, we'll keep that to 15. Blue lobster, 12. I think that's a good balance. And 91%. What do you guys think? I think maybe if we knock that down to the white shrimp down to 40. What does that get us? 87. 87 is pretty good. We'll take that. That's good margin. Alright, 100% flat on this one. Ooh, we're still growing the pork beagle. We only got 1 of the 3-star. Haddock. This one's definitely more difficult. Arctic cod, narwhal. Where are we at with narwhal? We got 3 stars in the narwhal. Kaplan. Where are we at? We're still at 98% for that. What do you guys think? Let's look at the snow crab here. What do we got here? Take that down to 10. 10 with that. Ice fish. 9. Narwhal. You think we should take the Antarctic octopus down to to 8 maybe? I mean, let's be real. It's the Greenland shark is definitely one who's eating a lot of space there. Let's send 2. Gets us to 94. I don't know. I don't know where else we want to create space here. This is definitely where we're at an impasse. I'm trying to figure out where we want to manage this, because we want to create space, but there's really nothing to really go off of here. You know what I mean? We gotta think the 3 biggest here to manage is the porbeagle shark, is the Greenland shark, number 1, and then also the narwhal. Narwhal, I have 3. Porbeagle, I have 3. Greenland, I only have 2. And we're at 94%, so we really don't have a lot of room to work with here. All the other ones, I think I'm, kind of well in that groove of what we're working with. So it kind of becomes like what we want to do with our overhead. Because we only got 6% that we're working with right now, and optimally I would like to be below that 90% threshold. You know what I mean? So if we could somehow free something up, but I really don't see, you know, if we do one more from the octopus, that still keeps us at 94. So ideally, even if we get rid of 2 more of the Antarctic octopus, that's down to 5, that's still not going to move our number considerably at all, because we're at 94. That didn't move us even within that percentage point. So if we're lucky, that would move us. If we get rid of 2, that would then trigger that additional percentage, and we might be at 92%. So that's not creating a lot of overhead either. You know what I mean? So then do we go with the crabs? Do we knock the horsehair crab and the snow crab down to 7 apiece, because that's 3 and 3, that's 6, that opens up a little bit more space? Or do we say goodbye to one of the pork beagle? You know what I mean? Because that's one of the big boys, and we have a 3-star and we have 2 2-stars, but I kind of want to like get in that repetition of like when they eventually breed, to get into that 3-star level and maintaining that 3-star level over and over again. So we'll just kind of, let's see. Gelatinous stalefish. What happens if we bump that down to 2? Where does that get us? 93. Alright, so we dip below that 1 additional percentage point. If we take the capelin down to 5, and we take the icefish down to 5, where does that get us? We're at 90 now, and that's kind of right at the threshold. So if I take the haddock, we're at 89 with the haddock. Okay. I don't really like that overall, but that's kind of where I'm at, especially until that poor beagle, until we can get the 3-stars up from 1 to 3 and get rid of the 2s. That's kind of that management level I want to be at. Okay. But we're good there. We're at 89% now for that one, so we'll take that one as a good spot to be at. Nope, we don't want to talk to him. 100%. Alright. Knock these down to 10. Cuttlefish at 10. Hammerhead at 3. Knock you down to 30. Coral trout will knock down to 10. Sailfish. I want to keep the sailfish at 4. See where that gets us. Rock lobster and okay, so where are we at now? We're at 93%. Oh. Man alive, it can't be that easy, can it? I really don't want to knock down my sailfish if I don't have to. Where do we get if we drop 1 more jellyfish? It's still a 93. Nowhere. That's where it gets us. Nowhere. Alright. We're at 93% still. I don't think dropping the shrimp is going to do us any favors. Could drop the cuttlefish down a little bit. Coral trout down a little bit. Giant and big eye. But I don't think anything's going to drop us the way a hammerhead or a sailfish will. But here's the thing. Sailfish, I'm really only looking to keep for when it comes to like events. And also hammerhead, like I don't have a whole lot of use for the hammerhead either when it comes even to like the shark events, because I think I'd have to check my menu, but okay, we're at 93%, so I might have to come back to that. 98% for here. So for the rock lobster, we'll knock you back down to 10. Cookie cutter is at 2. Fangtooth is at 2. Not worrying about those. Fanfish is at 3. We can keep it at 3 for now. Both of those jellyfish are at 2, which... Excuse me. Apologies. I don't think I need to worry about those jellyfish anytime soon either. Snailfish. Take that down to a flat 10. Megamouth. Megamouth shark. We'll see where 10 keeps us. And this fella. Rhino Chimeridae. Let me know if I'm saying that terribly wrong, which I probably am. I think take this down to 15. I think if I take this down to 15, I'll probably get us to where we want to be, because that's 3, and that's kind of a larger one. Not as large as the Megamouth, but pretty sizable. Alright, and that gets us to 89. Perfect. Perfect. That's exactly where I like to be. Alright. So we're 89 for there. This right now is our only point of concern. We want to look and see what the hammerhead is bringing us when it comes to sushi dishes for when the special, like the shark events come up. Because I could get rid of one of those hammerheads, knock us down to 2 that we're keeping, just so that way it has the eventual chance to have offspring and populate more that way. But if we don't have any of our sushi dishes that really emphasize the hammerhead shark meat, then I'll come back and I'll get rid of the third one and knock us down to 2. So we're gonna head over to our sushi restaurant real quick. Now, right now we got, let's see here, sailfish, megamouth. We got a lot of megamouth though, so we're not hard up for that. Plenty of fanfish there. Cuttlefish, max level. Rhino Chimeridae. Rhino Chimeridae. At 191 of that, which is our limiting factor for that dish, but we got plenty of everything there and it's max level, so I don't think we need to worry about that one at all. What else are we looking at here? Let's see here. We got our sailfish, and that's what I don't want to harvest right now. I have 4 sailfish in the fish farm right now, and I want to try to up that number, because right now I only have 14 units of meat that are available to us. And that's only at level 8 right now as well. I want to try to upgrade that one a bit. Blue lobster there, but that's truffle to upgrade, so I kind of have to hold off on that one as well. Comb jellyfish and seaweed, so I'm probably going to have to go down to the sea people and do some more excuse me, some seaweed farming. Sea urchin. See, I just finally, just recently, within the last couple of in-game days here, farmed barracuda up to having 2 in there, because I didn't really think that barracuda was important to have. But this dish here, this great barracuda canapé, seems like it might be a good one to have in my wheelhouse. So I need to work on getting more barracuda to populate in my fish farm. But after that, so you can already see we're several rows down on my menu, and that hammerhead shark isn't even making an appearance right now. These are the ones I definitely need to work on through here, and then also that blue lobster once I get more truffles, but that's kind of going to be a slow grind for that one. Also, I got three each of these different tuna species in my farm, but I'm not getting them to produce additional eggs or offspring or whatever at any kind of a reliable rate. And part of the problem with that is that even when I do, like, those are one of the big ones that notch me into that red territory of into the 90% and over the 100% that I then immediately scale back on. Because I also find it important to keep ones such as what else do we have from that low level here, like the parrotfish. I want to keep that stocked and pumping out. The green hubhead parrotfish, which is a big one, I want to keep plenty of those. Triggerfish, all these ones that like you want to keep in production, because like these ones are like my main dish that I want to keep going forward with. It's hard to which one am I going to sacrifice in order to try to upscale the production of the other one, you know what I mean? So we got max level for that, max level for the starry puffer, Dumbo octopus. I might work on the Dumbo octopus one, actually. That might be a good one to work on. I'll have to consider that for next time. Or actually, well, again, that's a truffle dish, though. That becomes part of the problem. Seaweed looks like definitely something I'm going to have to prioritize right now, because there's been 2 different dishes that feature seaweed that I need to definitely bump up my production of, down with the sea people on that little farm there. Sheep's head level 1, but again that uses truffle and I don't want to do anything with that. Sailfish 1. Goblin sharks, fatty meat. So I just completed this mission and this one just popped up here. So, I mean, obviously it's not going to net me as much income as the other ones that I have higher up, but for the sake of getting rid of it for like story progression or whatever, or just, rotating it out of my menu. There's my thresher shark. And see, there's my first hammerhead shark dish, which is just hammerhead sushi, which I already have at max level. So the real question becomes, with the hammerhead that I have in my fish farm, is it worth keeping around? Because I know I can go to the shipwreck and harvest it when I need to harvest it, tranquilize it, and get the drone to carry it up, and get 27 units of meat that way. I have 470 right now. So do I need to keep 3 hammerhead sharks in that fish farm for production purposes, to try to like spur more production of it? And I'm going to go down a few more rows here and see if there's any additional that I need to have, or any other dishes that feature hammerhead shark meat. Because really, if I don't see a purpose for me keeping 3 when I can just keep 2, and then just continually harvesting 1 at a time when I need to. Because we already have the other shark dishes for when those are featured as events. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Crab. Mackerel. Squid. I'm not seeing anything, you guys. Are you guys seeing anything here? I see a good amount of marlin here, though. Marlin is definitely something I need to work on, but I haven't been able to catch any. You know what I mean? Let's see, where is it? 0 to 50, and it's hardly showing up on the dives that I'm going on. I probably should look in to see like when it actually appears, because I find myself doing more of the morning dives and not afternoon dives. Afternoon dives I kind of like sim through. I speed up the process of. Megamouth shark is already full. It's not looking good, you guys. Mako shark is also another one that I'm not getting to spawn for me on any reliable basis, really. This one, you know, I could upgrade, but my other dish is already so far in advance beyond that one that I don't think it's worth it for me to invest the resources in that one right now while I'm still trying to figure everything else out. And we're already down to $2.22 a dish. So, like, even if there is a hammerhead dish down in this region that's at level 1, is it really going to benefit me taking it up to level 10? Does that make sense? We'll keep going, though, just to make sure. See, here's a good one. Just Greenland shark sushi. I don't have many other dishes that really feature Greenland shark meat at all. So, when we do get the VIP events that are shark meat focused, would it benefit me to upgrade that? I don't really know right now. And this is another thing too, because I feel like I have that in my farm, but I'm just not getting production from it. I could be wrong though about that. I probably am wrong about that, now that I think about it. Narwhal. I'm going through all this stuff here. Look, saw shark. Complete waste of time. When I was beginner to mid game, I thought longnose saw shark was going to be where it was at, but boy was I mistaken. Complete waste of time. Let's see here. It's not looking good. Should probably check and see if there's any other dishes that call hammerhead into question, because I gotta tell you, that hammerhead sushi is the only one we're seeing here. And that seems kind of bonkers. Like, even if there's like a truffle dish that involves it. Like, we're not... Let's go down to the one that I don't have the ingredients for. Let's see here. Excuse me. Like, if there's a rainbow cap dish or a truffle dish that does the 2 servings per each, like, that's at least something to work off of. Cerebral crab. The Fog Coast. Oh, the Fog Coast is the expansion, which I did the one time. I haven't gotten to the hydrothermal vents at all yet. I haven't unlocked that yet. That'll be an important additional area. But see, this is another one. Snub-nosed spiny eel. I'm in the glacial area, so I don't know why I don't have any of those. Bladderwrack. Glacial seaweed cave. I have not gotten to that area yet, apparently. Blackfin barracuda. That's another interesting one. I have 11 of it. Maybe that's a nighttime one? I don't know. Atlantic bonito. Yeah, none of these are looking good, so I think it's... let me see what I have with my research. If there's any ones here that pop up for the hammerhead. Because as of right now, as it stands, it doesn't look like it's doing me any benefit from keeping 3 hammerheads in my fish farm in that section. Because they are large, they take up a lot of space. And I'm not seeing any dishes other than the actual hammerhead sushi. All the different rays. Narwhal. Lionfish. That's an interesting one for the lionfish. Shrimp. That might be a good one to learn for the shrimp. Black tip shark and copper shark. These ones must be nighttime, just judging by how much I don't have of them and the fact that they aren't in my fish farm at all. Rainbow and ornate wrasse. Wrasse? I wonder how you say that. What do we got? Jellyfish. Crab. Batfish. Mackerel scad. Squid. Eggplant. Yeah, so we're not coming across anything that's really benefiting the hammerhead shark. You know what? While we're here, I'm just gonna bust out the Google search engine to see if we got anything. We're gonna go Dave the Diver, hammerhead, shark, dishes. Dave the Diver Wiki, important resource here. So when we look under the davethediver.fandom.com, using the Dave the Diver Wiki for smooth hammerhead meat here. Excuse me. We have combat tactics. When I'm looking up the wiki here, it shows for usable menus as smooth hammerhead sushi being the only menu item for the hammerhead meat. Noted as being within the vicinity of the shipwreck, not just in the shipwreck explicitly. But you know what? I'm not seeing anything that indicates any other dishes for the smooth hammerhead other than the smooth hammerhead sushi itself. So if that's the case, I don't think I need to keep 3 of them in my fish farm. I'll drop that down to 2 and 2 only. See what happens when I select the hammerhead meat. And it's not giving me anything additional for the hammerhead meat. It's just looping me back to the same page. So I don't think it's important to keep a multiple of that one. So I'll knock that down to 2 right now, just to save space, and I think that'll definitely probably do a good deal of space clearing for that one. So while we're here, gotta take care of the cats, you know what I mean? Feed this guy. Just gonna go with the basic cat food. I'm a dog guy through and through, but listen, if you have cats that are in your care, take care of your cats. Alright, we're going to go over to the fish farm now. Now we're going to go over to the depth here. And we're going to go down to, where's the hammerhead? Right there. We were at 93, right? Let's see where that gets us now. 89. Perfect. Could you think of a situation where that ended up better? Like 88 or 87? Sure, but like literally dropping a full 4% down below 90 to 89. It doesn't get any better than that. Alright, so literally all of these I believe are now below 90%. We'll just do the perimeter check here. 79 for that one, 87 for that one, 89 for that one. We won't even bother with the 250 meter depth. We already checked the farm, so we won't bother with that. And now we're going to go up to the boat. And We'll check our report on that one real quick. Actually, one thing I didn't consider, today is the D-Day for the lobster event. So we're going to go to the sushi restaurant. We're going to make sure that I have enough bait for the 3 traps that I can set. We have 5. We have 5 of those currently. So let's see here. We're at 986, 965 with these. So we'll make some top tier bait. You know what I mean? Craft it, craft it, craft it, craft it again, and boom! Now I got some top tier bait. Same thing. We'll keep going. We're gonna craft it. Pestle and mortar, pestle and mortar, pestle and mortar. So now I got some top tier bait again. It is important to remember that this is taking up weight in our packs from when we dive. So want to be cognizant of that. Do we want to do one more here? Instead of the shrimp, we'll go with the Nautilus. And we'll craft that. 2, 3, and 4. Boom. There we go. Can lure very rare fish for crab traps. We're at 8. 8 is going to be 2 full dives plus 2 left over. So just kind of like that reminder mentally of like, oh, we only got 2 left, but we can definitely get through our set of dives for that now. And so now we're going to go back out to our boat. By the way, I don't know if you can see, I'm down to my last sip here of my my beverage, which is number 3 that I've had tonight. So I'm definitely feeling it. I'm definitely there overall. I think by the time I finish this drink, it'll mean that I've had approximately, let's call it a round number of 15 shots over the last 4 hours. So I think that gets me to wherever I need to be. You know what I mean? Slanja. Okay. Now we're going to shop here. We got the decoy, we got the sensor traps, and we got the emergency evac. I think we'll go with the net sensor. I think that'll probably be a good investment here on this one. In the event we run into some tuna. Excuse me. But outside of that, I think our main objective is going to be diving for the lobster traps and for the sorry, I had a dog hair on my controller here. We'll get the dive down here. And one additional thing I'm going to have to Google here before I do this is the rapid trigger functionality for my controller here. I have Easy SMX D20, I believe it is. This is a phenomenal controller. Not a sponsor by any stretch of the imagination because I am a nobody. But I gotta say, I really love the feedback of this controller. And so I'm going to look at I'm sorry, it appears to be the D10. The D10. Make sure I have the auto mode on set for that one. So we're gonna have this one set up for when we dive here, because I've already upgraded my knife. Good, we got that set up, and I have my M buttons configured to where I can have this set up for it as well. I'm not going to bother with the seahorse, because I'm already full up on those. But I'm going to pick up pretty much everything that comes my way, really. When it comes to resources, don't need the triple axle at all. That's trash. I will take the shrimp, just because I'm a sucker for a good shrimp. Pick up the urchin here. Who doesn't love a green sea urchin? Sleepy toy hammer. That is a very useful tool earlier on for me, but right now it is not what I want to be involved with. Right now we're just collecting all the wonderful resources that we can't fish farm for. And really, these copper ores aren't doing much for me right now when it comes to actual items needed for crafting weapons or anything like that. But actually, when it comes to trading down with the sea people, I set the trap here. Alright, we got that one set. Oof, another one of those. Ooh, hey, Mako Shark. Well, that stinks. They knocked that much air out of me, but I'll just go right over here. And they took that much ammo, too. That's really saying something. 5 rounds? But, yeah, here we are. And look, here's a refill. Ain't that handy dandy. Set up a trap over here. Look, more shrimp. Oh, missed the rope right there. As you can see, I already got my oxygen tank maxed out, which is a lovely thing to have. Goodness gracious, no one's No one's joining the chat here with me on this late night Dave the Diver stretch. Got three-star American lobsters right there. That's pretty clutch. And then the European as well, but that's only a 5-star. So right now we're doing pretty good. Oh, looks like that one already got filled as well. Let's see what we got in here. Got a 2-star Euro lobster, a 3-star American, and a 2-star American. Alright, well. Take that black and white snapper just because I can. No other reason than I can. Well, send one more trap here for the, oh, nope, that's for the green sea. My mistake. Get some salt. A little shark, and a little lightning tip. Figure I might as well catch a little bit of everything on this one, you know what I mean? Especially if I'm gonna have to go all the way over. Oh, hey, look at this. I think this is just the whitefin. Yeah. So because of that, we aren't going to worry about them at all. Not a little bit. What we got? What we got? Barracuda. I'm not worried about a barracuda. You worried about a barracuda? Not me. The only bit of barracuda that I need to know about and worry about is what Heart told me. Barracuda. That's a good shout out for everyone from back in the day who played Guitar Hero. Ooh. Love that one. Lead. Lead is a real good commodity for the mer people. Get a little bit of reimbursement from them with it. And now we're already back through to where we were earlier on the shallow side of things. And we're going to keep following this up and around, because we're in the business of finding stuff that really benefits us. We get to be choosy right now. Right now, ooh. Boom. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. Which one's this one? This one is a starry? No, marbled electric ray. Alright. Then we'll put the trap down here for these lobsters, and then probably going to get within reach of this triggerfish. Yep. We'll give him... Nope, still have almost all of our ammo. I'm not going to worry about that one additional round that we're missing. But, ooh. We'll swap that one out right now for this one. And we'll start using that one. Because who doesn't love the little bit of extra speed. Got enhancement, and that reloads our ammunition too, so that's a win-win. Up to 40. Can't plan anything on that one. Now it looks like the other trap is still lying in wait. Nope, looks like finally just got the a hookup from that one. So we're gonna go down and harvest from there. What do we get from here? From here we get, not really a great pull. We get 1 2-star, 2 3-stars of the American lobster. And then we get 1 2-star of the European lobster. Seems like the European lobster is the one that's really difficult to come by between the two of them, even though it's only a 5-star. Or a rank 5, or however that's classified. But, you know, I suppose it is what it is. Let's pick up this underwater scooter now that I exhausted the other one. And we're barely at like a third of our, just over a third of our capacity. And once we've kind of gone through all through here, we've kind of exhausted our shallow region. Because right now we're only at 20 meters in depth. But I feel like we've kind of gotten everything we've needed to out of that. We're back up to 480 oxygen. We're full up on O2 now. Tranquilizer harpoon. We're not focused on damage right now. We're focused on functionality, and that gives us great functionality. So we will use that to our advantage when we can. I don't think that seahorse is going to do anything for us. We're at 40 meters in depth now. We kind of cleared the other bit. We got that scooter right now, which we don't need because we still got the other one that's full. So I think we're going to keep diving in depth. Harpoon them in the face. Same thing with this triggerfish. Might as well, because they're part of the, I believe it's the tropical platter that benefits from them. Let's see what we got over here. Got a couple of shrimp we'll steal. Orange starfish. I don't think the orange starfish is doing anything for us right now, just like this triple axle isn't, so we're going to disassemble this one. And get us a couple of fragments out of it. I don't think that curry block is in any of the recipes that I'm concerned about right now. Ooh, another upgrade. So we're up to 50 damage right now. Not that I need it, but some Atlantic mackerel over there that I don't really need anything to deal with, but nevertheless, we'll go up in this little alcove here and get the lead ore out of here, because lead ore is definitely good to collect. It looked like there might have been a shark down here as we dive further down. I see the tail of it. Oh, it's a hammerhead. Alright. So again, like, we're getting a lot of meat out of this one, but like, it's not really doing anything for me. I don't have a recipe need for it. But, you know. $27 is $27. Alright, we'll swap out the underwater scooter for that. And see, that's where my hesitation comes with this steel sensor trap. Like, I'd love to have it, but what am I using it for with here, you know? Hush dart level 2. Good to have, but don't need it. Take the fragments. Get some kelp there. Another fragment there. What are we diving down here for? That is really the heart of the question that I'm getting at. Got a cuttlefish over there. Take the flask. See what we got here for seasoning. Always can use some soy sauce. Same thing here for the fossil. The leg bone. About 400. Sure, I'll take the re-up. But like, I'm just gonna go over and hit over the sea people here in a second and see where we're at with that. Do I want to mess with the barracuda while I'm here, since I'm only at 87 carrying capacity? Can't do anything about that. I'm not gonna mess with the giant trevally. God, this is a saw shark. What a waste of capacity for me. Listen, if you're early game, I get it. It's a shark. It's part of the appeal of the special event days. But like, you will find out quick, fast, and in a hurry how useless that saw shark truly is. Alright, I think we're pretty much at the limit of the further depth that we want to go to before heading to the sea people area. I might as well just re-up on the 2 additional ammo while I'm here. And I gotta tell you guys, if you're playing this on a computer and you have the ability of getting a controller to play it with, make sure you choose a controller that has the additional M buttons on the back here, because, or even I believe it's the 8-bit do controllers have the an additional L4 button by the trigger on the bumpers up here. Being able to bind that to the additional speed burst that you can get, game changer, as opposed to pressing L3 on the analog stick. Can't recommend that enough. So like here, I'm not gonna mess with that barracuda. Yeah, not worth it. I'm just going to cut straight to the sea people. and see if they have any additional farm stuff that I need. I don't think I have anything at the maturity point yet for harvesting. And again, I just did this fairly thorough dive where, if you guys paid attention, I harvested pretty much every single thing that I came across on the seafloor, as well as multiple fish, and I'm still only at 89.4 kilos out of my 185 capacity. And even then, for those of you that know, that 185 capacity really becomes like, ballpark a 210, where your movement gets slowed. But I'm not even, I'm halfway there right now, Oh, these are all sprouts for the bull kelp and the seaweed. I'm really looking forward to harvesting those. I don't know if I have the seahorses I can offload here or not. Let's see. Ooh, I don't think... Yeah, these ones aren't doing anything good for me. I can replace this one though, right? Yeah, both of those can be replaced, but we're just going to replace the one. Replace that one. And then 20 and 20 and 25, 25. That one can replace that one. Well, that's about it. I think, considering all things considered, this dive is pretty much done. And again, we're going here to him. I have 173 of this currency. And really what I need to save up for is copper ore, lead ore, because you see that's worth 5. So if I need to swap out for when it comes to growing those crops, I have that as the resource. That's my primary concern, because as it stands right now, most of the weapons that I have upgraded to where they need to be, but I also don't have the hydrothermal vents unlocked yet, and that can definitely be part of it. So I think all things considered, we're at a real comfortable position otherwise. For those of you who have not dipped your toes into Dave the Diver, I can't highly recommend it enough. It truly is just a phenomenal game. Like, everything that it sets out to do, it does in just the most perfect ways possible. It's a cozy game. There's no two ways around it. Like, if you're choosing one singular category to throw this game into, it is a cozy game through and through, because it's a management game. It has all those features to it. So, like, if you love a Stardew Valley, this is peak Stardew Valley in that kind of regard. Like, it's not the farming sim. It does have elements to it, but like, it has that mild bit of action adventure to it. It has that mild bit of sim. It has that mild bit of management to it. It really just hits perfectly on all of those notes. And I gotta tell you, I was just absolutely blown away with this game, with how perfect it is in nailing those things. I really hope that the team that is responsible for this game goes on to create another game that is an evolution of it and an elevation of it that takes everything that they did with this game and just makes it even better. I feel that games of this ilk are sorely lacking in the gaming market today, because also too, like, I know the graphics aren't amazing right now by any stretch of the imagination, but I mean, like, look at the colors that are on your screen right now. You know what I mean? You get these wonderful, vibrant colors that are just like a joyous representation of what gaming is and what gaming should be. And I think that really is a beautiful thing. A lot of the games that we have today, like even like, you know, wonderful games like Clair Obscura, Expedition 33. I have heard nothing but absolutely phenomenal things about that game. But you look at those games and it still has this real dark tone, a lot of dark colors. What I love about Dave the Diver, and like I don't know what this says about me, especially now that I'm 38 years old, but you have bright, vivid colors, and you can jump into this game for 30 minutes. You can jump into this game for an hour and a half, and it's bright, and it's vivid, and it's fun, and it's funny, and like you can care about the characters to some extent, but it's, you pick it up and you let it go, and it's the kind of game that just more or less says, we look forward to seeing you next time. We look forward to your next 20 minutes of gameplay that you're going to give us. And when you jump back into this game, you're going to get colors, and you're going to get lightheartedness, and you're going to get fun, and you're going to get all of these simple joys that used to be kind of innate with gaming, especially for my, you know, kind of millennial, strong millennial to elder millennial background. Those of us who were raised with Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, like, you get these real, like, I don't want to call them pastel colors, but you get bright, vivid colors of true blues and greens and yellows and lush landscapes, and the idea that gaming should be fun and should give you this sense of escape into joy for that quick 30-minute or 45-minute hit of, I get to let go of what's going on in my life, and I don't have to process these deep-seated storylines of darkness that carry with me throughout the day. And like, I'm sure, I am absolutely sure that games like Clair Obscura, Expedition 33, one of my personal favorites, The Last of Us, the original Last of Us, like, that tackle these truly deep and dark tones underlying humanity. Like, those are valuable and good, but my God, is it such a balm to the soul when you get to jump into a game like Dave the Diver for 45 minutes, and you just get to look at this boat and look at this, you know, this sea that you're diving into, and managing a sushi restaurant in paradise and all this other glorious stuff. This is the kind of gaming that I think that we as a society needs right now. It is just beautiful. It's simple. escape into it, enjoy it, and just marvel in its simplicity. And like I said, the team that's responsible for this, I hope that whatever they're working on next really kind of keeps that kernel of gaming at its core. The idea that gaming is supposed to be fun, that it's supposed to lift you up, that it's supposed to make you feel good, and also hopefully that it's also the kind of game where you get to visit. You get to visit for a half hour. You get to say, hey, how you doing? Keep it moving. You know what I mean? That is the beauty of Dave the Diver. And that's the beauty that I hope that a lot of you are gifted with when it comes time to realizing that gaming doesn't get to be necessarily an everyday facet of your personality. It gets to be a part of who you are, but it doesn't get to be the main part of who you are. And there can be a little bit of tragedy in that. There can be a little bit of sorrow in that. I think that's normal and that's healthy to understand that those of us who grew up playing video games, we don't get to continue playing video games with the frequency and the passion with which we used to play video games. And also that the frequency and passion with which we played video games might subside in due time. And that's normal, and that's okay as well. And even for some of us, not me, and not for any of you out there listening to this, that giving up on video games altogether might be a natural progression of who you are as a human being. You might not just have the time for it at all anymore. And that's okay. And if you find something else worthwhile to fill that time with, it could be your job, it could be raising a family. Those are all absolutely worthy endeavors to have supplant the time of playing video games, and that's okay. But I hope if you are out there and you are wondering, because we see everything out there about video gaming in regards to Call of Duty, Battlefield, and even Marvel Rivals now, with really how toxic Marvel Rivals has become. These video game outlets of being people who just dump hours upon hours of their lives, hours upon hours of their days, of their weeks into these games. If you don't have that available to you, it's okay. There are still so many of wonderful games out there that you can dump minutes into. And you can dump minutes into that feedback to you, that give you that feedback loop of, this was the joy that you had when you were younger, and it's being given back to you. And it doesn't have to be a game, it doesn't have to be this game, it doesn't have to be Dave the Diver here. It can be other games. Like I said, my favorite game of all time, without question, the one that really latched into me from a story standpoint, was The Last of Us, when that was first released for the PlayStation 4. I remember I was a young buck. Let me see, when was that actually originally first released? The Last of Us. The Last of Us game. It was PlayStation 3 was the original release, or no, it was released on the PS3. But first release was June 14th of 2023. And it was also released on the PlayStation 4 in 2014, the next year. But I remember playing The Last of Us in 2013 on the PlayStation 3 and being brought to tears with how absolutely beautiful of a story that was being written for us as gamers. And that was the kind of game that you needed to invest a little bit of time into with. It wasn't the, like, you know, kind of like what we're playing right now with Dave the Diver, where you could jump in for 30 minutes at a time. It really, I don't want to say it necessitated you to jump in for a larger amount of time, but it kind of did. It really required you to really invest yourself in the story that it was crafting for you for larger chunks of time. But I remember in 2013 playing that game and just being so emotionally invested and intertwined with the story that it was telling me, more so than I had ever been with any video game prior to that point. And I've been a gamer my whole life. You know, born in 1987 and grew up in the wonderful era of Super Nintendo. That was my first real exposure to it. You know, I got the regular NES, the regular Nintendo, as the hand-me-down system from my brother. But I remember going to Blockbuster Video and getting my first, you know, cutting my teeth on Super Nintendo, Donkey Kong Country, right when it was coming out, right when it was fresh. And really evolving with those consoles, with those systems, over the sands of time. And, like, all those games really being a part of me and part of who I was, and got, like, especially if you were born in the same era that I was born as. I was born in 87. Let's go far back. If you're born in 85, if you were born in 90, you know, that kind of 5-year time span, 85 to 90. You get into circa 1997 when the Nintendo 64 comes out. And you get GoldenEye and Wave Runner 64 on the Nintendo 64. Like, God, like, those games I just were like personality traits of who you were, and the people that were in your friend group, of being able to spend time with. Like, those were just formative and just orders of magnitude responsible for who you were as a person, if you were a part of that small subset of adolescent gamer culture that was really, you know, at its core. And then you fast forward to, you know, fortunately, when I graduated high school and went away to college, circa 2006, I want to say, 2007 probably, when the first Assassin's Creed video game came out. Let me see. Assassin's Creed. Because I remember renting the very first Assassin's Creed game. And that came out in November of 2007. So that would have been my junior year of college. So I would have been right at the cusp of 21. And I remember Assassin's Creed coming out. And I, at the time, my college roommate owned an Xbox 360, and I didn't have the money to afford an Xbox 360 or a PlayStation 3 yet, but he did. He had an Xbox 360, and so I went to Blockbuster Video. Again, dating myself, hardcore, in November of 2007, and I rented Assassin's Creed and played in our dorm room, or it was an apartment. It was a nice townhouse apartment. Let me not pull any punches on that one. But in November of 2007, he had an Xbox 360 hooked up to our living room television, and I rented the original Assassin's Creed. And in between classes, every waking moment of my being was spent playing Assassin's Creed. Excuse me. Because that was it felt like at the moment a gaming franchise that was truly tailor-made for me as an individual. And I'm sure that, when you go back to 2007 and you ask people around that time who were also playing that game and who identified with that game, that there were tens of thousands of other people who felt the same exact way. But you also have to remember that, circa 2007, outside of your Counter-Strike servers and everything of that measure, that there really wasn't that kind of forum available to people. But it was that first real moment of, wow, there's people out there that are making a product for me. And not for me as in a wide overarching demographic of me, but really a more finely subset version of me. And obviously that me is people who love action adventure video games and who love single player video games and who love storytelling and who also love history and the idea of historical, kind of fan fiction, things of that nature. But, you play all the games beforehand that led up to that point, and I'm sure there's plenty of other people who felt the same way about other games. Metal Gear Solid is probably a really good example of that. Of subsets of video games, of genres that really feel custom tuned to specific subsets of people that really, really feel spoken to when you get that. But for me, the first Assassin's Creed game in late 2007 was definitely that moment for me that was oh wow, there's groups of people out there who love and are passionate about the same things that I love and am passionate about. And not only that I love and am passionate about, but they also make video games. And that when they set out to make a video game, they're making what kind of video game do I want to play? And then instinctively, that video game that they want to play is the video game that I want to play. And that was the watershed moment for me. And granted, that's, we're already talking about 15 years of my life that I've been playing video games where it's like, yeah, this is fun, this is great. Who doesn't want to play Mario Kart 64? Who doesn't want to play Super Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo or anything like that? This is all fantastic and fun. And it's great to spend time with. And who doesn't want to play GoldenEye 64 on the Nintendo 64 with a group of friends playing, slappers only or whatever? Like, oh yeah, this is all great. This is fun. This is, gaming with friends and as it should be. But it wasn't like that gaming experience that feels like it was speaking directly to me as a person. And that was the first real example of, oh wow, gaming is speaking to me directly as a person that it never had before up until that point. I still remember in the first Assassin's Creed game, renting it right after it came out and climbing the first viewpoint tower and doing the synchronization, and it does that 360 swoop around to get the bearing of your landscapes, and just being completely blown away with not only how beautiful a game could look, which, I'm sure up until that point my breath had been taken away by other video games. I'm sure, like, what was the game that came out before Shadows of the Colossus? I think ICO, however you say that. Like, having vistas that were truly breathtaking and beautiful and astounding, but there was that marriage of, oh wow, this is something that's spectacular that also feels curated and crafted for me specifically as an individual. That really, really hit me with that very first Assassin's Creed game when I did the very first synchronization on that tower before you get to Damascus. And then just the idea of me being a nobody from the Midwest and, outside of, a couple of family vacations to other parts of the United States, not knowing, myself from a hole in the ground when it comes to the rest of the world. But the idea of like, oh man, I'm walking through the ancient streets of Damascus right now, and there was a team of game developers who did historical research into what ancient Damascus looked like to try to bring some small recreation of that city and that landscape into the game that I'm playing now. That was just absolutely mind-boggling and reaffirming to me too. Like, that's the level of beauty that comes to it. That it's something that's so specific, and the minutia is so in-depth and detailed that it becomes so immensely rewarding that, like, oh wow, someone worked on this and I get to be the one that benefits from it. Like, how beautiful is that? And I think more than everything, it just really boils down to capturing that feeling and being thankful for that feeling. And 2007 Assassin's Creed was really the the first time that I really felt that feeling as a gamer. But then, that was 2007. And here we are in 2025 going into 2026. So we're over 18 years removed from that. From the first time I had that feeling as a gamer. And as I mentioned earlier, life happens, man. Things happen. We grow as individuals. We have trials. We have tribulations. We have obstacles that we overcome. We have obstacles that knock us down. And the things that we loved, in my case, now 18 years ago, might not be the same proportion or the same ratio or the same intensity as they were then as they are now. But I think it's important to find those same kernels, the kernel of truth that lies at the core of all of that. I don't get to be the gamer that I want to be. I don't get to be the gamer that I once was. But I'm still grateful for who I am, and I'm still grateful for the bit of gamer that is inside of me. And that gamer doesn't have to be what it was. It doesn't have to be as strong of a part of me or as much of a ratio of me as it was. But I still get the moments to indulge that and find the joy in that. And for that, I'm truly grateful. And games like Dave the Diver here, it might sound a little bit hokey, but games like Dave the Diver really, really help me connect with that love that I have for gaming, with that joy that I have for gaming. And it's completely unlike games that I've loved before. Or it's completely unlike games that made me fall in love with gaming. Dave the Diver is not the Assassin's Creed from 2007. It's not The Last of Us from 2013. It is, pixelated graphics. It is a, simplistic. I don't want to say simple because I feel like that's doing a disservice to the developers here, because it is not simple by any stretch of the imagination. But it's a sim. It's management. It's little kernels of action adventure. And it's wrapped up with this beautiful bow of color and humor and lightheartedness and enjoyability that really helps reach out to those of us like myself and like, maybe some of you out there who don't have that same ability to dedicate time to like we once used to. The fact that I can just jump into this wonderfully colorful world for 45 minutes every other week and still feel like I'm getting something out of it, I think that's truly beautiful. And I think that's something that game developers should hear more of. I think that there's a lot of developers out there that are probably constrained by what executives and management are telling them they need to meet. But there's a lot of us out there who just crave that beauty, that simplicity, that joy, that feedback and reward of being able to dive into a wonderful world for a half hour every other week or every other day, or however infrequently it might be, to just escape into these beautiful little pocket dimensions of existence that make us feel like we're 12 years old again, that make us feel inquisitive again, that make us feel joyous again, make us feel happy. Not that we can't feel that in our own lives outside of video games, but being able to jump into these little instances of worlds that are crafted for us by people who care about the worlds that they're crafting. God, bravo to all of you. Every single one of you out there who are making video games for us to play and invest time into. Down to, the lowly cell shaders of games, doing grunt work that you feel might never be appreciated. God, thank you so much. Because we get to jump into these worlds and get that little bit of endorphin rush into our system that just reaffirm us even further. If I didn't get to play video games again for a single moment in my life, I would be sad, but I'd continue to live. And that would be a small tragedy, but it wouldn't be an existential tragedy. But the fact that I get to jump into this beautiful world that you've crafted for us for a brief moment of time, it's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. So thank you. Team at Dave the Diver. Team at all the games that we love. All the games that everyone loves playing. This was obviously a wild and wonderful rant and exposition on my part, with no real starting point, no real ending point. But it was just something that I felt passionate enough to share with all of you about that. And of course, right now, couldn't get my controller to work there for a moment because I went so far off on a tangent talking to all of you for the last, God knows how long, about absolutely nothing. But I think now that we did all of that, we're going to save. I already bought everything from him. I already fed the cat. Gonna double check the farm. We're good there. We're going to go back out to the boat real quick. I don't think there's anything left for me to do. Yeah, I'm not getting the notification. I'm not getting the notification of plant needed for there. So I'm going to go over to the sushi. I'm going to fast forward time. And then I'm going to save, and I think this is where I'm going to leave everybody for the night. Because right now the stream's saying I've been at an hour 44. And I don't know how I've filled this much time with me speaking loosey-goosey about everything. But I am going to guess it has something to do with the fact that drink number 3 is in the books. And I'm well done with that now. So this is where I'm going to leave it. This is where I'm going to sign off for the night. I would like to thank anyone who might eventually see this, because just a brief monitor of my Twitch stream, it looks like I never peaked more than 2 viewers at any set time, and no one commented anything. But if anyone hears this at any point in time, I hope that the video games that you're playing brings you the level of joy that these video games bring me from time to time when I get to jump into their worlds. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're continuing to do well. I hope that whatever setback you may face, you conquer and you overcome in due time. And I hope that that victory is not given to you, but you work for it and you earn it. Because you deserve to work for it and you deserve to earn it. And you deserve to know the feeling of accomplishment after a trial or tribulation. I hope you know that you're not alone. I hope that you know that if you need to reach out to someone, that you can and that you will. And I hope that you have many wonderful gaming sessions from here on out. And I hope you have many wonderful days from here on out. So for now, this is Logical Mongoose signing off in the middle of the night. It was December 27th when I started the stream. It's now December 28th, 2025. Whenever you're hearing this, if you're ever hearing this, have a fantastic day. Have a fantastic night. Have a fantastic life. Take care of yourself. Take care of those around you. Happy gaming. Have a good day, everybody. Take care.